Hello, 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 shiny happy people. Welcome to this week's vlog. My name is Luke, and I am also Curve Cut Games and Ideas. Curve Cut Games and Ideas is the name of my as yet started publishing company. I'm working on my business plan, I'm working on games, I'm working on a lot of things to get this thing going. Sort of. We'll get into it. Yeah, so this week's episode is called My Life on Mars. And this is a throwback to the pandemic when I really felt like I was living on Mars because I was all alone, living in my apartment, and you guys are all there. You guys know what the pandemic was like. And I really just felt like the air was poison, you know? And that's sort of where I'm at now in a weird way. Not the same, obviously, because, there was sort of how do I put it? Sort of everybody was sort of in the same boat at that time, and a lot of us are in the same boat, but it's a little more isolating than it was now than it was then. It's the same but different. I don't know. I can't explain. You know what I mean, I think. Yeah, so as you can see this week, I'm not playing a game. I'm cutting out cards for a trick taking game that I've been working on for like 4 years. It was originally called Tsunami. I changed the name to Three Ravens. I was never super happy with the name Tsunami. I had a whole like theme built around it, and the theme was great, but it wasn't. It was really sort of meaningless. Three Ravens, I think, is a bit better. I'm really excited because the prototype I'm cutting out is more like for show. It's just to show myself and other people what the deck is actually going to look like. Because I think I'm pretty good there. I'm pretty happy with the graphic design. I do the graphic design myself. I'm definitely happy with the art. There's a couple of cards I need to finish. One of them, it's done, but the artwork was done quite a while ago for fun. It's really a riff on a cover done by Chris Bachalo, and it's really close to the original. I mean, it's indigenized, it's Luke Parnellized, whatever you want to call it. But it's the same pose, it's the same everything else. So it's if you looked at both, you'd definitely be able to tell that it was heavily inspired by it. So I'm not sure I'm going to use it. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll go on the Board Game Design Lab and ask, uh, maybe see. I don't know. Anyway, maybe I'll just avoid it all and just make new art. I do have a couple new pieces I want to do for the cards. But anyway, this is close. Anyway, so the reason I'm doing showing these cards is that as much as I intended to play a solo board game every week and sort of talk about my weekly problems, blah blah blah. Um, it's I was watching a thing the other day and I talked about the algorithms, how they don't really mean anything anymore. And also I was thinking they shouldn't really mean anything to me because really I'm like the only one watching this vlog. I mean, I do have some followers. Thank you very much, by the way, if you are a follower and you're watching these. But I don't have too many, so really these are for myself. So I don't really need to worry about the YouTube algorithms. I mean, I'm not gonna get featured. First of all, I don't pay for YouTube Premium, so that's probably a drawback. But also, just it's still going to be predominantly me playing games, but I want to open it up to do other things. Like I really enjoy cutting out these cards, and it really brings me joy to bring these games to life, even if I'm not showing them to anybody yet. It really does. And also, I paint miniatures and I do art, and so I thought maybe I'd mix it up. I think like I said, I'll predominantly do solo board games, but also maybe I'll throw in some carving and some painting miniatures, but also maybe painting pictures, and just get a good mix in there. I'll still talk about my week. I'll still have an artwork feature an artwork of the week. Um, but yeah, I'm just gonna mix the video part up a little bit. So I don't know if it'll be board game adjacent, but it'll definitely be Luke Parnell adjacent. That's my last name, by the way, Parnell. Anyway, yeah. So let's look at my notes here. So it's been a weird week. Um, I was talking with my friend, and she was talking about she's procrastinating on these things, and she's like, "Are you procrastinating anything?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm procrastinating in my life," which is super. I just, I've been busy this week, but I haven't been doing anything that I've earmarked as important to myself. Like I haven't worked out. I've been eating fine, which is a bonus. I mean, there's a lot of junk in there. If you'll see in a bit, but I've basically been eating fine. But I haven't been working on my carving. I haven't been taking care of. I took care of most of my bills, but some of the bills I haven't taken care of. haven't done any planning for like the next few years. Like I have a bit of a nest egg saved, but you know, I've been cutting into that quite a bit. Mind you, it was Christmas season. I had some trips planned that I took care of. So I wasted a lot of money. I wasted, a good 15,000 over the holiday season, which is a lot of money. um, but I helped my family out, so help myself out, help my family out. It wasn't wasted. It's just gone. Yeah. So like I said, I need to work on like you know taking care of my bills, working out, finishing projects that have timelines. And these vlogs, I've been late on these vlogs the last 3 weeks, or I guess 4 weeks because I was really late on one, so it's three vlogs, but 4 weeks. And these vlogs are really important to me. They're really important to keeping my mental health in check and keeping myself in check. I mean, I wouldn't even be thinking about not working out if I wasn't doing these vlogs. To be honest, I mean, I'd be thinking about it, but I wouldn't. This is more like a call to action. I really need to treat it like that. And I know this is kind of a boring video, just me cutting out cards, but whatever. Like I said, this is my vlog. I'm the one doing it, so I hope you like it. I like it anyway. Yeah. So like I said, all these things I've identified as being important to me and my well-being, and I'm avoiding them, and I don't know what that's all about. But I really need to stop. I think I need to do some of my cognitive behavioral work. I think I should put that. I'm gonna put that in my goals for next week. At least look at the textbook. I took some courses a while back on cognitive behavior disorder, CBD classes. That's what it's called. Anyway, I have a textbook and I have a workbook, and really needed to dive back into that because, yeah, I'm sort of stalled here and I need to get unstalled. I know I can do it. I know I can still contribute to the world, and I'm going to. So, like I said, I'm not playing a game this week. This is my game of the week section. Um, like I said, but I'll talk about this game. This is called Three Ravens. Like I said, it used to be called Tsunami. I've been working on this game for 4 years. This is the game that got me into the hobby, actually, when I started doing research around making this game. And I've play tested it a bunch of times. I've play tested it, adjusted the rules, play tested it again. It's ready to go. I mean, I need to write the rule book. Oh my god, which is super hard. But I've already got a couple drafts of the rule book, and so I think like I said, I'm even ready to do another draft, a third draft or a fourth draft. I guess or maybe fifth draft it would be. Um, and by I mean official drafts. I don't mean like changing notes while I'm writing it because I do that a lot. Do that a lot in between each. Um, but an official written notes, and I just get some advanced prototypes made. Get like 100 made. I know 100 will be expensive, but get like 100 made and send them out to reviewers and so on and so forth. Then I'll make more adjustments after that. Do some real work on it. But I need to move forward on it. And like I said, and also doing that will also get people like talking about it. Like it'll become an important sort of project for me. So it's important that I do that, and I need to get on it. Health and fitness hasn't been great. Like I said, I've been eating fine, but I need to exercise more, and I know this is starting to sound like a broken record. Every week I get on here and I say I'm not working out enough. And I'm not. It's psychological. It's all in my head, and I make all these excuses like I don't want to disturb my neighbors, or it's too late at night, or I just ate, or I'm going to eat soon, or blah blah blah. And the truth is, I'm lazy, and I need to start calling myself out about that. I'm just being lazy. There's a lot of excuses and a lot of reasons, but there's a difference between action and thought. And as far as if you judge my on actions, I'm lazy. I'm just sitting here getting heavier, and life is getting harder. It's hard when you're overweight. Like it's hard to do things. It's hard to wipe your butt. Everything is harder. Picking stuff up off the ground, walking, and sometimes I think, oh, I'm having a heart attack. Must be age, blah blah. Like no, it's weight. Like your heart is working really hard to keep you going when you're not doing anything to help it out. So yeah, I'm gonna do more than that. I need, like I said, these things are supposed to be a call to action. I need to treat them that way. Take this all more seriously. Anyway, so like I said, so I didn't weigh in. I don't want to see it. I'm not gonna weigh in for a few more weeks because yeah. Anyway, so my food journal for the week. Monday I had eggs and toast, some banana bread, some chicken nuggets. That was my whole day. Tuesday I had eggs and toast and some banana bread, some chicken nuggets. Wednesday I had eggs and toast, sandwich. Hamburger with spiced rice and some banana bread. Thursday I had eggs and toast, had some Ichiban, I had some toast, I had some sandwiches for dinner. Friday I had toast, I had tomato soup and crackers for lunch, McDonald's for dinner, and some cookies, some chip chip. And on Saturday I had some eggs and sausage and a sandwich, eggs and sausage sandwiches for dinner. And Sunday was Easter Sunday, so we had a breakfast buffet with my mom and my sisters. And then and that was big, so I didn't really eat the rest of the day till Easter dinner. I had turkey and all the fixins, which was really good. Yeah, so not a bad week, not a great week, but not a bad week. The chips and dip, ugh, I don't know why I bought them. I was so hungry when I went to the grocery store. That's why. Anyway, so games I'm working on, so despite the video and just cutting out of these pages, I did do a lot of work on this. I changed the scores on these cards from I doubled all the scores, so it went from 1 point. Like all these cards you see now were point 0.5 cards, and so I changed those all to one. So I had to double everything. So now the 5 point cards are 10 point cards, the 4 point cards are 8 point cards, etc. So I did a lot of work changing those because I'm just doing it all on Procreate, so I'm doing it all by hand. Like I said, these are just prototypes. Oh, and that's another thing. So when I want to get the next version of these cards done, I need to switch it over to vector files. So that means I'll need to either pay someone to do it or get the program and learn to do it myself. Probably the latter because I have time. Um, yeah, so what I've been working on really the last couple of weeks is an area control game. And this started off a while back from I played a game called Solar 175 by Meeple Concurdo. Meeple? I don't know. I can't remember her name. It's a really great channel. Check it out. So it's an area control game with like voting and all kinds of stuff. It's a really cool, really deep game. It's a campaign game, and unfortunately, the campaign goes way too long. I wish they'd only done like 8 episodes so that you could actually get through it. Because I've played it 8 times, and I really have no desire to play anytime soon. Because it's a lot to set up, and it's a big game. It takes a lot of table space. It's a great game, though. I mean, I'm not gonna stop playing. I'll finish the campaign eventually, but it's gonna take a while. And I've already gone ahead and like put some it's like a 30 game campaign, and I've got it down to like probably 18 just by putting a few of the chapters together. Um, yeah, so anyway, I started out with there, and I was like, oh, I'd love to do an area control game, and I really love this game. I just wish it wasn't so big. And so I started working on this area control game where you sort of be flying around the map and like putting down bases, and there'd be some sort of voting aspect for. And so that all went through a lot of changes over time, and I got to the point now where where I've made a game that's different enough, and so like it. Solar 175 is a bag building game, so you have an action selection board, and you pull chips out of a bag to sort of see what actions you take. And I really like the action selection part, so I kept that. But what I did is I changed it to more of like a originally it was going to be like a dice drafting game. I was like everybody would have like 6 dice, and you all roll them together, and then you choose which dice you wanted, not necessarily your own, and every bonuses for using your own color, blah blah blah. But I really want the game to go be snappy, and so that's gonna take a long time because there's basically like. So I went to look. So I looked at Castles of Burgundy, and I thought about like the way you put down the hexes there in your own tableau. Like I thought that's really cool. But what if instead of use the dice system where you roll 2 dice and you could use those 2 dice and you can adjust them, blah blah blah. But what if it was action selection? Like, what if you had cards and there's a deck building aspect where the action selections, you can sort of deck build those and sort of like everybody have the same starting actions, and you sort of build your deck. And that way it becomes asymmetric in a sense that when you're picking your actions, you can go for more warlike, you can go more base building like, or more voting like, so on and so forth. Sort of it gives you sort of different ways of playing the game. And there'll be some cards that will actually like be activated by different aspects and so on and so forth. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Like I said, none of it's been tested. It's a brand new game, so I don't know if any of this will even work. But I made a board and I bought a bunch of stuff. There's gonna be zeppelins, which will be sort of like, and there'll be bases, and and you'll be able to like attack the bases and attack the zeppelins, and some of the bases will be like weak, but some will be able to like fight back, and some will be booby traps. And then I got really excited because I really like the voting aspect of Solar 175, so I wanted to have something like that. I didn't want it to be exactly the same. So what I ended up doing was designing a system where there would be a bunch of, like, there'd be five every round, so there'd be 5 or 4 rounds, and there'd be like zone bonuses that'll come out, like five. Well, there's six zones, so 6 zone bonuses will come out, and sort of one will go on each, and you'll be able to sort of, you pay for the tribute, which is sort of like your voting cards, but it's paid tribute, and you can either you can either buy like end game bonuses. So there'd be like five end game bonuses each round, so players could choose from, if they want to. They don't have to. And so basically, you're building your own end game bonuses, and none of them will be game breaking. They'll all be small, so it'd be better to have a few. And then there'll also be like zone cards. So if you're in a zone, you'll be able to get a card, and a card, those will be like in game bonuses, and you can have more. And if someone buys a zone card in a certain round, another just goes on top. So next time when you buy it, you'll buy two. These will all be purchased with your tribute, buying your tribute markers, tribute cubes. I have cubes for the game, and you have a limited amount, so you can't just like buy like 100 of them. But anyway, there's not gonna be that many. So the game's gonna go 4 or 5 rounds, and there'll be specific amount of turns. So it'll be like the first few rounds will be, you have basically 5 turns per round, and there'll be end around sort of things. I'm really excited about it. I really need to build it, and hopefully test it. Hopefully my nephews like it so I can test it with them. But I'm pretty excited about it. I always get really excited about these games when I first come up with them, and I sort of put everything off because I really need to do the second round of playtesting for Neon Native Art Explosion. So I sent out the first round of playtesters. I've gotten up some feedback, not as much as I'd like. Some people just don't email back. But I'm ready to do the second round, so I need to make adjustments. I need to rewrite the rules. I need to put in some new pictures. I need to update this 2-player mode because that's the mode that I was really unhappy with. And so I got some really good feedback on the 2-player mode, which is excellent. And so I'm going to rewrite the rules for that. And I need to do some better how to play videos because the one I made was lame, barely functional. So I'll make some better ones for that. And yeah, so those are games I'm working on, games I played this week. I mostly just played Shipwrights of the North Sea. I played that a bunch of times, like 6 or 7 times. It's a good little game. It's a lot like A Wonderful World. I'll feature it here on the channel eventually, but I was cutting out these today, so I just wanted to film it. I'm pretty happy with it. It's a weird game because it's like a 1 to 5 player game, but it's a solo game. Like it's basically a pure solo game. So I'm not sure why. Um, I don't know. It's a solo game. Channels I watched all the channels that you watch: Board Game Co., Dice Tower, Board Game Garden, etc. There's no more videos that really stand out, but I know some of the videos are promoting things, and all these promotions sort of makes it a little hard to trust them as far as the recommendations. And so I just need to think of them all as there for promotion. And I need to get more. I'm getting there, but I need to get more of a feel of the games. I figure that by the way they promote it and they talk about it, I figured out if I'll like that game or not. And so really, it's more about getting to know myself and understanding the language of board game hobby, and understanding, you know, they're speaking as professionals, and you sort of understand what they say and what they mean by what they say. So once I understand it more, I'll be able to get sort of more of a feel for the games I'll like that they're promoting, and the games I won't like. And so my goals for next week, like I said, I just need to work on that mask. I need to finish that mask. I need to start working out more. And I made one earlier. I can't remember what it was already. That was just a few minutes ago too. Yeah. And so now I'll talk about the artwork of the week. Hello. So the artwork of the week I'm going to talk about is called Green Tunic. And this is work I did for a show 2 years ago at the MKG 127 Gallery in Toronto. And so the designs on the tunic are Chill Cat Eagle designs. And I made all these prints. There's actually prints. It's a bunch of prints sort of stacked or attached to a big panel board and sort of painted on. Well, you can see it painted on a tunic form painted on there. And I got the prints from a piece I did a few years ago called the Convocation Robe, which was an amazing piece I did. But I've made like 1,500 prints, so I need to. So I have all these extra prints. I'm not sure what I was going to do with them. And so I came up with the idea for this project. So the prints came in 4 colors. So I can actually, so I've done this called the green tunic. So I can do 2 more. And the idea behind this piece is just the idea of like for Chilcat designs, like the Chilcat convocation robe was this big sort of piece that was stood on a wall. I'll put a picture of it here. And with Chilcat robes, often when they're given away at feasts, the people will take them and cut them up and make them into smaller pieces. Like so, they'll make them into like wristbands or knee leggings or headbands. And so that's sort of ideas that I'm reusing these for something else. So it really just extends the life of the piece and is very true to the nature of the piece. Thank you for viewing my channel, and I hope you will continue to tune in. The old man once said, life is a journey, and if you don't stop and look around once in a while, you might miss it. So this is me, stopping and looking around, because I have been missing it. These are a few of my socials. Please follow those and this channel as well. Thank you, and be well.